Good morning, this is Givo and this is a Honda CB500X which had a frontal crash. Basically it was a frontal crash, so we are confident on the reliability of the entire front without the forks. The upper and lower element of the forks are still working in plane. There was no bending. Worth to try to fix it, and we will try to find an amateur, a real amateur, who would like to drive still this bike, which is 80,000 kilometers, but I think it will double this mileage. The bike has been suspended and now we are going to unleash the forks, front forks. Let's unleash the bolt hanging the forks, and let's try with a torque of 30 Newton meters. No. Better with the spanner. 14 millimeters.
Now we have to this from above.
Let's mount first the spring inside the fork in order to control only the mass thing inside and not the spring thing. Very important is not to waste the oil, the fork oil, because we have to measure the amount of oil inside in order to respect the original parameters of the bike. Now measuring the amount of oil inside, but we need a bigger becker. First, now this is the base, and it goes inside the main piston here, and from outside the fork, from this part, we assemble with the screw, and this goes to the spring. Loading some oil in order to explode the fork without oil. Now we can measure better than before the amount, because we are not going to lose any oil during the unpacking process, and it's more or less the amount of the first fork, which is around 400 cc of liquid fork oil. Okay. That's it. And now we have to move every item from this assembly to the new assembly, which will include the outside element and every item which is not included in the spare part. So we have to collect every screw, everything we have not new, and what we have new is this element, which is the beam, and the seal and the top seal. Now we have to collect the elements. They are exploded already, and we will assemble the new fork. Now, first element here, second element, no more elements. This is replaced, this position as well. This has to stay over the ceiling. Then there is the sealer, this is out, and now we have these elements as well. We have to get this out from above. So here we have a problem, for example, because we can't get this element out because of the crash plasticity. But we have to try with some lubricant. Otherwise we can try to get these elements out from the other side, because this, which is the bearing, the axial bearing, can be extracted from the bottom. So we have to do all the movements the same way and get inside okay, so the same order. And this can't be exploded here because of the element, the sealing element, the aligning element of the new beam. At the end we had to cut the pipes, because the springs were so tight inside the pipes that it was impossible to unscrew them with the original after crash configuration, which was this way bent. So big angle, it's around 10 degrees, and so since the radial gap between the spring and the pipe is so small, it was impossible to unscrew the springs, and we had to cut it. Now we have to insert the springs into the new forks, and we have to respect the original order. So the upper parts were already assembled, and now we have to insert the spring and the pump. This is the pump, which has to go inside the main beam with the pump spring and its end. Now it goes with the final element, the screwed element, inside the lower element. This is the screw. So put on the screw, aligned at least. And now it's time to get the seal on its seat, and then the final closing ring. There we go. And closing element, spring inside. The screwdriver better. So the closing ring is in. First main spring now with the progressive part in the bottom to keep lower the masses. Now the preload element. Closing seal. Now we can close the bottom screw. You can try to put it on without the closing screw because there is enough weight load in the axle. And now the forks are ready to be filled with the fork oil. The screw has to be loaded before inserting the fluid. So we have to close for a while this, and after we have to reopen it. The new fork oil, which is a 20, and we need 400 cc inside the forks. So it's a new one. Okay, so here we go with 400 cc. Okay. Now we can lock.
I've seen few ads on the internet, and then I came out with this one. It's a 2014 black colored. When I saw the ad, it had an accident. Even though this accident, this bike will be very reliable because first of all, because it's a Honda is a warranty, of good quality, and this model is very. I know I've been reading a lot of reviews, and I know that it's one of the most reliable models in terms of chassis, frame, the engine is bulletproof.
We tried the alignment of the two elements, the upper and the lower one, and they are aligned, so the prediction was good. Now we are going to measure the amount of metal getting out of the upper element in order to get the same height between the two forks, and they are now okay. We can refine this tuning afterwards. This only is a preliminary check to get the axle in the right way inside its alignment, which is this one. Now we unscrew the caliper because the wheel has to get in without. Check the front. Bearings, and here is the axle. Now the caliper again. Caliper in.
Okay, job done. Let's see if it works. Perfect. I think it's now ready to go back on track. Well done.